Hi, I'm Emily and this is Made on Mill. In this video, I will be showing you how to make two different ruffled scrunchies. I have been seeing so many of the double ruffled scrunchies or scrunchies with lace, and I really wanted to give this a go and create my own version of it. What you'll need for this project is a lightweight woven fabric. I have found a lot of quilting cotton scraps at the secondhand store, which I think are absolutely perfect for this project. You can find lots of beautiful prints. So I have found this little floral option. So since we only need a small amount of fabric for this project, it's a great scrap busting project. So certainly save those scraps as you're working on other projects, and then you can go ahead and make some scrunchies from them. Now you'll also need, if you're choosing to add some lace details to these, you will need to source some lace. I find a lot of these in bags at the thrift store, and yeah, a lot of them are really, really gorgeous. So for the scrunchie option one, it's not going to be a double ruffled, but it's going to be a more narrow scrunchie with a lace detail on it. So for this one, your fabric cut will be 21 inches long and then 4.5 inches wide. For the double ruffled scrunchie, you will need to cut 2 pieces of fabric, and each of those need to measure 19 inches long and 7 inches high. Let's get started. I'll begin working on the narrow scrunchie, so option number 1, or A I might refer to it as. All of the scrunchies that I'm making in this video will have a seam allowance of 1/2 inch. So first we will start by taking our length of fabric with the right side facing up towards you on a flat surface, and you will add your lace detail along the long edge of the fabric. Now you'll want the lacy portion to face downwards or into the inside of the work so that the edge of the lace that you need to stitch on is aligned with the outer edge of your fabric piece. Then you will go ahead and baste this onto your fabric piece. I should mention that your lace pieces should be the same length as the longest portion or longest side of your scrunchie. So for option 1, your lace piece should be 21 inches, and for option 2, you will need a lace piece of 19 inches wide. Now I have opted to do 2 lace pieces here. That's completely optional, and you can certainly choose to do different types of lace in this scrunchie if you want to. So once your lace is basted to your fabric, we will move on to the next step, and so that will be closing the loop of the scrunchie. So what you will do is, with your fabric with right sides facing, you will sew along the shorter edge, closing in the fabric and creating the loop. So here you'll want to back stitch at the beginning and end of your stitching line so that it's really secure. Now, this is a really good way to make the scrunchie, since now we are closing in those raw edges of the lace as well as the fabric. To close in the long side of the scrunchie, we will use the burrito method. To do this, you will take your scrunchie with the right sides facing inward, and then the piece on top you will kind of scrunch together so that it sits nicely in between the 2 edges of the side on the bottom. Then you take the 2 edges on the side of the bottom and bring them together over your scrunched up bit, aligning the long edges, kind of like putting your right sides of your fabric together to sew. You can now start stitching those 2 long sides together, back stitching at the beginning and using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. You will reach a certain point where you're kind of running out of fabric to sew. And so what you will do is, with your needle down, you will kind of grab the fabric that's on the inside and pull that through, using your other hand to hold the other side. That should give you some more fabric to continue sewing around the scrunchie. At this point, it's a really good idea to check that that internal fabric is still bunched up and that you're not going to catch it with your stitching line. Continue working this way by stitching and then pulling, stitching and pulling. once you approach the beginning of your stitching line, you will leave a 1 to 2 inch gap, and this will give us space to flip the scrunchie right side out as well as insert the elastic. Remember to backstitch, and now you can trim your threads and flip the scrunchie right side out. Now we will move on to inserting the elastic. So to insert the elastic, I recommend for this one to do an 8.5 inch length of elastic. And what this will allow you to do is wrap your scrunchie around your hair twice. If you don't want to wrap it around twice, say you just want to pop it on your hair and you don't want to fold it or like double it up, then you'll need a smaller size elastic, somewhere between 5 to 6 inches, depending on your hair thickness and your preference of how it sits on your wrist as well. But for this one, I am opting to have a double folded scrunchie. That's a little bit of my preference for how I use scrunchies. So I will be using an 8.5 inch elastic, and then keeping in mind that we will need to sew the elastic closed, and I have accounted 1/2 inch for that. So what I like to do is use a safety pin and use that as a tool to thread through the fabric. Now, the other end of the elastic, I like to safety pin that to the edge of the opening, just so it doesn't get sucked into the scrunchie channel. So once we have brought the elastic through the scrunchie, then we will bring the elastic portion to our sewing machine and sew that elastic together so that it forms a loop. So how I like to do this is using a zigzag stitch, and that allows the elastic to still stretch while securing it together. So now that the elastic is inside the scrunchie, we can go ahead and close up that hole that still remains on the scrunchie fabric. So what I like to do is pull the seam at both sides of that opening kind of tight, and then that'll naturally kind of allow the fabric to fold in on itself. You want to make sure the raw edges are tucked in there, and then you simply just run a top stitching line to close that opening there. If you don't like the look of a top stitching, then you can certainly use a ladder stitch here or a mattress stitch and close that opening so that it's completely invisible and you won't notice it. However, this will take a little bit more time. Another option is you can run a top stitching line around the entire scrunchie so that it doesn't look so obvious in one spot. It looks like an intentional design feature. All right, now that scrunchie is done and ready to be worn. So for the second scrunchie option, it's going to be constructed in a little bit different way, but some of the principles and steps that I described for the first scrunchie will still apply here. Now for this one, I have opted to do 2 different lace trims. So I'm gonna do a cream colored one as well as a dusty rose colored trim. Okay, so to get started, we will need to base the lace trim to your fabric pieces. So you know that we have 2 cuts of fabric. It's because it's going to be a double ruffled scrunchie. So, but to start, we'll only base the lace to 1 piece. So take one of your fabric cuts and lay it down. Now you will, similar to the last step, align your lace with the edge of the fabric. Now, since I have 2 different laces, I'm going to put one on one side and one on the other, but with the bottom lining up with the edge of the fabric and the lacy ruffle portion facing into the fabric center. So you can go ahead and base those 2 pieces of lace down and then set aside your work. Similar to the last step, we will close in the loop. So you have your piece of fabric with the lace attached. You will bring your shorter sides together with right sides of the fabric facing each other and stitch that closed. You will then take your second fabric piece and do the same thing. Put the short sides together with the right sides of the fabric facing and stitch that closed so we have 2 loops. Now it's time to start creating the scrunchie channel. So you have your 2 loops that you just created from your 2 pieces of fabric. Now you will take them and put one inside the other. Doesn't matter which one, but you want to make sure that the right sides of the fabric are touching. This means the wrong side is facing outwards and there's a wrong side facing into the center of the loop that you are going to create. Now, for the seam that we created on the shorter edges of the fabric, you should probably align these so that they sit together, but I would push the seam allowance of each one in opposite directions just to reduce a little bit of bulk there. Now we will close in the loop. So we will run a stitching line along the outer edge of each side, closing in the loop. So for the first one, you will sew all the way around so it's fully closed. For the second one, the second side, we will do the same method as the first scrunchie where we will start stitching, but we won't stitch all the way closed. We'll leave a 1 to 2 inch gap opening. Make sure you are doing a back stitch at the start and end of your stitching lines. Now we can turn the scrunchie inside out so our fabric is facing outwards. At this point for this scrunchie, I do think it is helpful to give it a quick press so that the lace and the 2 edges of the scrunchie are sitting really flat. Make sure when you're pressing that opening that still exists on the one side of the scrunchie that your edges are folded in to the same amount of seam allowance that you used. Okay, so now we are going to create a channel to put the elastic in. Now you can center your channel, you can offset it. I've chosen to offset it so that when the scrunchie is finished and the 2 sides kind of fold up onto each other, they're staggered so it looks more like a layered effect, and then you can see both sides of the fabric that lay on either side of the channel. If you center it, when the scrunchie kind of folds up onto itself, they will be the same length, and therefore you might not be able to see the layered effect as well. So I have opted to do a staggered effect. So to start, you will mark out your channel stitching lines that you want to create, and then for your first one, so this will be the one that's closest to the side of the scrunchie that's already fully sewn shut. You will then start your elastic stitching line along like closest to that side of the scrunchie. And the reason for this is we don't want to close in the elastic channel closest to the opening that still exists, or else we won't be able to get the elastic in. So the first one that you sew will be the one closest to the side of the scrunchie that's already closed. So you will go ahead and stitch a top stitching line around the entire scrunchie using a back stitch at the beginning and end of your stitching line. Now we can move on to finishing that elastic channel. You will begin sewing the second stitching line to create that elastic channel. So you will want to start the stitching line at the same point where the opening still exists at the bottom of your scrunchie. So you will start stitching, closing, running a top stitching line around your scrunchie, and then stopping at the same point of where the opening exists at the bottom of your scrunchie. At this point, we can then feed the elastic through that elastic channel that we just created. For this one, I opted to do an elastic length of 6 inches, and the reason for this is I am not going to twist or fold the scrunchie when I put it in my hair. I'm simply just going to slip it over my hair. So we need a tighter and shorter elastic to achieve this look. So now we can thread that elastic through, very similar to how we did it for the last scrunchie. Once the elastic is threaded through, you will overlap it by 1/2 inch and zigzag stitch on this overlap to close the elastic. Then you'll kind of pull your scrunchie a little bit and the elastic should now be fully within that elastic channel that we created. Now you can finish sewing the elastic channel closed. So we had that opening still so we could fit the elastic through. You can go ahead and top stitch this and close it. Once that's closed, you can then run a top stitching line along the opening that still exists in the bottom of the scrunchie. Once this is done, your scrunchie is complete. So as you can hopefully see from how it's sitting in my hair and how I've manipulated it, the scrunchie is kind of folding up and you have achieved that double ruffle look. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this helpful or inspiring, I would really appreciate if you could give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, or consider sharing the video. Have a wonderful day.